Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, April 13. On this date in 1997, ECW held its barely legal pay-per-view. In the main event, Terry Funk defeated Raven to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 1998, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. In the main event, Kevin Nash defeated Sting by disqualification. On this date in 2008, TNA held its Lockdown pay-per-view. In the main event, Samoa Joe defeated Kurt Angle in a 6 sides of steel match to win the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2009, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Atlanta, Georgia. In the main event, Batista, Triple H, and Shane McMahon defeated Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase in a handicap tag team match. This has been Today in Wrestling History, April 13. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. We are here live at Senator Tommy Tomlinson's Children's Expo here at Council Rock South High School. Going on until 2 o'clock today. I'll be here until 1. We've been talking, basically recapping the week that was Wrestlemania, and certainly been a fun one and kind of an added experience that I'll talk a little bit more in depth about in the studio next week. Got the chance over the course of this past week to meet Diamond Dallas Page and get involved with his DDP yoga. That's right, yoga for regular guys. It ain't your mama's yoga.
Say what?
Diamond Dallas Page, yes, his DDP yoga. He has it catered to, catered for guys.
Right, okay.
And, I mean, I went through it, and I'll tell you, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, okay.
He sold me on the DVDs. I'll be next paycheck. I'll be definitely throwing down for that.
I'm more of a Rodney Yee fan, but
who?
That's another.
That's why you're the philosopher.
Yeah, that's a totally different.
That is a definite philosophical assessment, to say the least. And speaking of assessments, we've got a few of them on the Facebook feedback. Of course, the Facebook fan page, WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly. Go ahead and give it a look. Joseph chiming in, the sad part of last Monday's hot crowd and good show is that will most likely be you won't see that again for a long time. That was one of the best TV crowds ever. And it was definitely surreal. I mean, I guess best, I don't know. It's hard to define best, but it was definitely one of the more lively, one of the more energetic. Yeah, definitely. Take a flyer here. Every Saturday, noon to 1, we're on here. Oh, no problem. Appreciate it. But yeah, we've got flyers. Got to get the self-promotion, the pub, shaking hands, slapping backs, kissing babies, the whole deal. That's what we do here. On the rare occasions we're on the road here on Pro Wrestling Weekly. But, Raw's crowd this past Monday, Robert probably chimes in best. The crowd wasn't hot. It was nuclear. Yes, they some of the things that they did, it just, they're reacting, initially booing the living daylights out of John Cena, and then when he joked about a championship dance. And
John Cena fan.
Yeah, we do have a John Cena fan.
These girls love John Cena.
Yeah, well, we don't get a lot of female wrestling fans. Let's see if we can get anybody want to come on the mic here, talk for a little bit. Yeah, we're live on radio here. Not the
John Cena fan. Here we go.
We got a John Cena fan here.
Get her set up.
Did you see any of WrestleMania or anything from this past week, Monday Night Raw, anything like that?
Yeah. I did. Cena took the belt. I don't know.
Okay, she's obviously
we picked the one.
We picked the one with the proverbial stage fright here. Okay, here we go. You were thrilled that he beat The Rock.
Yeah.
To win the WWE Championship belt. And what about your thoughts on Raw the end of this past week? John Cena getting shell-shocked by Ryback.
I think that must have hurt.
Yeah, I guess being picked up over somebody's head and then dropped down to the ground, yes, it would definitely hurt. I can't say that I've necessarily done it before, but I don't know. Maybe if we have the moon bounce as a cushioning, that might be the way to go necessarily.
And, some lovely, wrestling fans here, and the mother is asking us to try a shell shock drop right here in front. Oh, okay.
No. There's a reason they say don't try this at home, or in this case, at school. They don't say don't try this at school, but I think they mean don't try it pretty much anywhere other than where the trained professionals do their thing. That's usually how they do, and that's definitely recommended to say the least. Yeah, we got the WrestleMania Cup. I was at WrestleMania in MetLife Stadium among the 80,676 in attendance. There was only a little bit of drizzle just before the pre-show match between Wade Barrett and The Miz, but after that it cleared up, and other than being a little bit chilly, especially up in that 300 section, the euchre seats, the nosebleed seats, other than that, I mean, it was a great night. The crowd was electric. Just being part of an experience. I mean, I've been to football games, I've been to baseball games, but this is it. There's a reason they call it the Super Bowl of wrestling, and I mean, the crowd definitely made for a fun atmosphere the entire weekend. I mean, from Thursday all the way through Monday between the Access. I did go to Access. I did get some interviews that I'll be airing on upcoming shows, so definitely get a flyer. Tune in.
We mic'd up the wrong person here.
Apparently, we got to get the mom on here. She's the one asking she's asking all the questions like a good broadcast journalist should. We'll get the mom up here. Mom.
All right. Hey, good afternoon, Bucks County. Hey, we're all talking about some wrestling.
Yeah, we are.
All right. So you got out to the show, and you loved it, and you were cold.
Yes. Now, you were asking about Access. I was at Access for a couple of days beforehand. Got to interview Damian Sandow, with the bathrobe. You're welcome. I don't know. I was going to say, these guys might know more.
I know the Bella Twins were out there. Did you see them? My buddy got his picture with the Bella Twins.
Didn't get the chance to see the Bella. Well, yeah, I mean, I passed by them. I mean, they had so many different booths and interactive things going on. They had, and this would be great for an event like this, they had a Fruity Pebbles foam block ring pit. It looks like a WWE ring, but it's a pit, and it has like foam blocks, and they're all the colors of the different Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, okay. There's no actual Fruity Pebbles involved.
It's made out of Fruity Pebbles?
No, it's not made out of Fruity Pebbles.
The whole thing
but they did have a station where you could eat Fruity Pebbles, and they also had the Fruity Pebbles bars that you could eat.
Okay.
So
that sounds good,
They had that right next to it. So there was that kind of interactivity. They had matches going on, different NXT wrestlers. They had the VIP section where you could meet, like John Cena, The Undertaker, CM Punk, Sheamus.
Yeah, I think my friend saw Dolph Ziggler. They had some pictures.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Lee, and Biggie Langston were up there. And this was before Ziggler's big Monday, this past Monday, winning the World Heavyweight Championship, cashing in his Money in the Bank contract finally after
I'm glad they're bringing Money to the Bank to Philadelphia in July.
They are.
It's going to be a good one.
They definitely are. Looking forward to that. I'll definitely be in attendance, and we'll see what we can do about getting some interviews as we get closer to the event to promote more Money in the Bank.
So you get the guys to come out to the station, or you go down and see them, or how do you do this?
Sometimes we can get them in the station. Sometimes I go to them. Sometimes they call in from wherever they're, because you have to realize they're on the road a lot, 300 plus days a year. So, for them to grace the hallowed halls of Levittown, not necessarily easy to do, especially if, they're wrestling somewhere that night. It's not like they can take a red eye from, I don't know, Indianapolis to Levittown and then head back to Cleveland for a match the next night.
I like her attitude.
That way.
How are we going to get this done?
Well, they come out. They come out
moves.
back
How we doing
Fargo. We were hanging out with, Wade Barrett last time, and the Bella Twins came out down behind the Wells Fargo. You got to go be patient. Be patient. They love their fans. They love them. All right, well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, they do. Thanks so much for coming on.
That was fun.
Yeah, see, we have, who would have thought, female wrestling fans too. I know a lot of people kind of get that stereotype that it's just, the male fans who, I don't want to get into necessarily negative stereotypes, especially for those who fit them, but I think, didn't we have on the phones, didn't we have Ron hanging out?
At one time we did have Ron.
One time we did. Did I lose my mind and we lost him?
I'm not sure. We can try to say, Ron, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, there we go. We got you. All right, what's on your mind, Ron?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. There's a bit of a delay because we're out on remote.
Okay, I want to comment on a few things, if I may. I want to comment on the fact that, Sunday night during the pay-per-view, they hyped up this business with the championship match with Alberto, and then the next night they had another championship match. Actually, they had a 2-on-1, and then Dolph Ziggler wins the belt, and he got cheered.
Well, yeah. He was. If you remember back at WrestleMania, all during the Del Rio Swagger World Heavyweight Championship match, there were chants of "We want Ziggler." So the fans were chomping at the bit. They figured this was going to be the moment that he was going to be cashing in. It didn't happen at WrestleMania. So the next night you had the handicap match. You had Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter against Alberto Del Rio. Obviously not in a title match, just in a 2-on-1 handicap match, kind of continuing their personal feud. At that point, it wasn't necessarily about titles. It was about the whole immigration we the people thing. And in the match, Del Rio gets his leg injured, and that opens the door for Dolph Ziggler to cash in the Money in the Bank contract. And a lot of the fans there, they said, finally.
Well, they hyped it up so much in the past weeks, and now this happens. And then, just like I said, when they had that Intercontinental Championship match, which surprises me too, because even the Miz got booed. I mean, all the babyface people got booed, and all the heels got cheered.
Yeah, Ziggler definitely got cheered. The Intercontinental match, that was a bit interesting as the title, it was almost a harkening back to the Attitude Era where the belt changed hands twice in the span of 2 nights. The Miz beating Wade Barrett at WrestleMania to become Intercontinental Champion just to lose it back to Wade Barrett the next night on Monday Night Raw. That was something you saw a lot of during the Attitude Era. I don't know if it's necessarily a sign of things to come or if that was just kind of a fluky thing.
I mean, people paid all that money for WrestleMania only to find. I was disappointed. I saw it. I was disappointed that, it took somebody like Ziggler to win the belt the next night, and you didn't have to pay for that. That was free. What you paid the night before, and the title stayed in the hands of Del Rio, and you spent all that money for that. And for what? I mean, what was the purpose of buying it? And the next night he loses the belt anyway.
Oh, yeah. I think a few people were disappointed with WrestleMania just because they were expecting more big moments and didn't necessarily get them. There were a lot of matches, and they were all okay, but there wasn't necessarily, other than Undertaker Punk, that greatness necessarily.
That was good.
And because you didn't have that greatness other than that one match, you just it let a lot of people down in that regard. You were expecting Ziggler to cash in, and it didn't happen, for example.
Yeah, well, I knew that was coming for weeks. The thing is, the Triple H match and the Rock match. Okay, we knew the Rock was going to win, lose to that John Cena for weeks. I already knew that was going to happen, but he's going to make a movie. But I mean, is there ever going to be a Japanese wrestler ever going to come to WWE and wrestle for the belt? They haven't had Japanese wrestlers since the 70s, and I'd like to see some Japanese wrestler maybe win the belt. That'd be interesting.
Oh, that's certainly a different take, and thanks so much for the call, Ron. We're coming close up against it here, but I mean, there have been Japanese wrestlers in the past. I mean, currently on the roster, you've got Yoshitatsu. I know he's kind of lingering in the kind of the lower mid card there, to say the least. And I mean, I think their at least best attempt at one, unfortunately, was about 20 years ago, but he wasn't actually Japanese. He was Samoan in the late Yokozuna. I mean, he was actually Samoan, Rodney Anawai, but, they had him playing a Japanese character. I don't know. Will they ever get to that point where they have, I don't know, someone of some sort of Japanese descent somewhere near the top of the card? I don't know. Maybe that's something that Triple H will usher in. I mean, he's tried to bring in a lot of change since he's slowly wrested the reins away from father-in-law Vince McMahon. He brought in Sin Cara. Some would say it was a good idea, some not so much. Same thing with bringing in Awesome Kong or Karma, however you want to call her. And, that didn't necessarily pan out due to a couple of different reasons, but he's trying different things. He knows that, sometimes you have to change things up in order for it to continue to work. So, in order for it to continue to be successful. Looking at the Facebook feedback, Bob chiming in with a couple things. I hope we don't have to watch Ziggler cheat to win his matches every time. Yeah, WWE isn't great with building strong heels. Kind of noticed that. That's kind of an interesting thing. And he also notes the heel turn dance, which he also found rather entertaining. I think we mentioned a little bit of TNA, or I know I did earlier. I was teasing the Full Metal Mayhem match, the rematch from Lockdown. which happened this past Thursday. Bully Ray beating Jeff Hardy thanks to a little bit of help from Taz to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Also more of the where will AJ Styles side as far as Hogan and James Storm and Aces and Eights, and now all of a sudden Bad Influence, they're getting involved. Christopher Daniels and Kazarian kind of not necessarily rehashing their feud, but kind of, I guess, closing the door on it just to play. So they've got a lot of wheels to spin necessarily. Plus, we're recovering from WrestleMania weekend, so of course that's been kind of the focus of the hour, to say the least. And it's been a fun hour here. We're going to get rolling. I want to check out some of the stuff that's going on here at Senator Tommy Tomlinson's Children's Expo. It's not a wireless mic, so I'm kind of attached to the proverbial leash here. But, the kids have been out here in full tow. They've been taking pictures with the replica championship belt, the Slammy Award, and having a great time. And hopefully, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just don't take it with you. I might have to wrestle you for it in the parking lot. He might challenge me.
Chances.
Well, true. He is. I was going to say he almost measures up to me in height. So much for the height advantage. We'll see. And I think the weight's pretty similar as well.
Just a couple of minutes here before we got to wrap things up, Fearon. I want to thank you for making it a lot of fun out here. Everybody trying on the belts, as you said, and holding up the Slammies, getting some photos and stuff.
Yeah, love the interactivity. And, WWE, they've kind of shown, despite the oddness of the fans this past weekend, the more hardcore fans, kids are where it's at. That's why John Cena is on top and has been for quite a while now. He's their hero. They're going for what kids like, even though it may not necessarily agree with what people my age necessarily like. But the kids love it here. They're having trouble lifting the belt here.
It is some nice belts.
Yeah, the old replica Winged Eagle, the replica Intercontinental belt.
Having a lot of fun
with that. There you go. Get the belt curls going on to add a little bit to the biceps there.
Get my pythons going.
Always a lot of fun. Now, next week, a bit of a programming note. We have, I believe, high school baseball starting at 9:45.
Yes.
So,
I think it may be Pennsbury softball.
Or Pennsbury softball.
Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected on that. I'm not 100% sure.
It's a game I'm looking forward to, Fearon. Pennsbury and Neshaminy, both of them kind of.
The reason I'm saying that is immediately following the game, I'm going to have Pro Wrestling Weekly on, so it could be at 11:30, it could be at 11:45, so I'd say tune in a little bit earlier than usual, because I'm going to pretty much go right in between the games, and I'm going right on through to, I believe, 1 o'clock or 1:30, where we've got Trenton Thunder baseball.
Nice.
Yeah, we saw Boomer in action earlier here. He had the championship belt. We'll put we'll put the picture up on the Facebook fan page. But I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank Senator Tommy Tomlinson for having us out here. Going to take things back to the studio. Starship Matt, thank you back in the studio for turning the dials, pushing the buttons as always. Thanks to the philosopher Chris Ermer here on site. And until next week, around 12-ish. I'm Fearon Derry. Thanks for listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.